Hey guys, and welcome to your review video on geometric series. Our learning target for this lesson has been I can find the sum of a finite geometric series. We're getting ready to take a quiz on this today. You should be able to use the formula to find the sum of a finite geometric series. You should be able to create a geometric series by knowing what the first term is, what the common ratio is, and how many terms you're finding the series for, and then find the sum on the calculator. You should know how to operate your calculator to use the geometric series formula. You should be able to find the sum of a series using sigma notation on the graphing calculator. And you should be able to answer a real-life problem about geometric series that uses a geometric series to solve. So, that's what's on your quiz, and it's coming up in just a few minutes, so bear with me through this video. Sunday afternoon, I'm sneaking into the toy room, trying to make you guys a review video. Check it out. Yes, I painted the walls. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of that. Anyway, so here we go, into your review. So in this first example, it says to find the sum of the series. We've taken a look at the formula over and over and over again. And yes, you can use the formula to find the sum of this series. But please realize that speed is going to matter when you take the end of course assessment. And when you have all the terms of the series here, you're not going to need a formula to find that sum. You're just simply going to add up the numbers. So to get the sum of this series, I'm just going to use the calculator and add up the list of numbers that are here given in the series. So the sum of the series is 60. The next example is a little trickier. It asks us what's the sum of the geometric series of 8 terms. So S8 indicates the sum of 8 numbers for this series, where the first term is 3, then -9, then +27, and so on. So it doesn't tell us the 8 numbers. We only need to know 3 things in order to do this with our formula. So A1 is one of those things. And in this problem, the first term is 3. R is another term another thing that we need to know. That's the number we're multiplying to get from term to term. We can take the second term, -9, divide by the first term 3, and we know that R is -3. We also need to know N. That's the number of terms that we are going to add up for this series. And since it says what is S8, N is 8. So next we'll just substitute into the formula for geometric series. So the sum of 8 numbers, where the first term was 3, the common ratio is -3, adding up 8 numbers again, and the common ratio is -3. So this is exactly what I would put into the formula. I could then simplify this, or we could type this in the calculator exactly the way we see that. So on the calculator, if we will go to alpha y equals, and then I'm sorry, that did not work. Try again. I'm going to clear the RAM. 2nd plus 712. Go to alpha y equals and hit enter. That uses this fraction notation. We can type our numerator exactly the way we see it. 3 minus 3, parentheses, -3, close the parentheses, raised to the power of 8, all divided by 1 minus -3. And honestly, if you can type it in the screen so that it looks exactly the same as it looked when you wrote it out on paper, you can't miss it. So the answer is -4920, or -4,920. Okay, so we're going to look at problem 3. It says, what is the sum of the series? And in this series, it's given us the series in sigma notation. And I just want to remind you, there's 2 ways to find sigma notation on the calculator. We can push alpha window, and you see it's choice number 2 here in that menu, the little shortcut menu, get from alpha window. Or you can push the math button, and it's choice 0 in math. So you could push math and then you could push the 0 button, or you could just scroll through the list till you find it, summation. It's very likely that you're not going to remember exactly where it is. So just remember, if there's something you're looking for, the math menu is a good place to look. You can just kind of scroll through and find things that we've used throughout the year. Okay, and you're going to use X's for variables in Sigma notation, and then type everything else in as you see it, 1 to 15. But remember that the parentheses you see here on the calculator, those are not the parentheses you see on the problem. Those parentheses have to contain everything that's in the problem. So the 3 goes inside those parentheses, and then you open another set, put a 2 inside, raised to the power of x. All of that gets contained inside of the summation notations parentheses. And then our sum we'll find is 196,602. This last example is something we've not spent a lot of class time on, but you are going to see it on the quiz, so pay close attention here to how this problem works. Sarah earned $28,000 during her first year teaching. I hope that you know when you see first year teaching, there's your clue that $28,000 is A1, the first amount of money. $28,000 is A1. Then it says she earns a 3% raise each year. Find her total earnings for her first 5 years on the job. First 5 years, that indicates to me that we're going to be adding up 5 numbers. So in the number of terms that we're adding is 5. The only other thing we need to know is R, the common ratio. What are we increasing by? And it says it's a 3% raise. However, that can be a little tricky when you're putting it or quantifying that as a number. 3% is 0.03. But you're adding that 3% raise to the original amount she already had. So you have that one whole amount plus 3%, so R becomes 1.03. If it says she's earning a 5% raise each year, R would be 1.05. If she were earning a 15% raise, which would be amazing, R would be 1.15. So whatever you're raising by, you add that to 1 as R, and you are going to need to do that on the quiz. So if you're earning a 50% raise, you would multiply, or the R would be 1.50. Whatever you're raising by gets added to 1. Okay, now we're just going to use our formula. So here's my formula to evaluate a geometric series. And now I'm just going to substitute my values into the formula. So here are my values substituted in. 28,000 was A1, R was 1.03, and N was 5. Now I'm going to use my calculator to evaluate this. So if we put this in the calculator here, I'm going to put this in my fraction notation. Alpha y equals, choose my fraction, and in the numerator we've got 28,000 minus 28,000, which, by the way, we're not really subtracting 28,000 from 28,000. That is just what we're substituting in the formula. If we follow the order of operations, we would have to raise 1.03 to the 5th power first, then multiply that by this negative 28,000, and then do 28,000 minus whatever that number gave us. Then we would last divide by 1 minus 1.03. So we could do all of this using the order of operations, but the calculator just makes it really, really easy for us. So our sum then of Sarah's earnings for the first 5 years on the job would be $148,655.80. So our learning target was, I can find the sum of a finite geometric series. Good luck, and I hope you do well on the quiz today. You want to see my puppy dog? I'll show you my puppy dog. Hold on. Come here, puppy. Come here, little girl. There's Jazzy. Say, good luck, students. Do good on the quiz, students. Look at her. Isn't she cute? Okay, good luck. And, yeah, everybody make an A. That'd be good. Bye.